How's it going, everybody? Donovan here with Ernie Williamson Music, and I have got a gorgeous trumpet to show you today. This one has a little bit of love because it's one that we got to sell, and I played it like I do all of the new models that come in because I want to get familiar with them. People always ask me my thoughts, opinions on what they sound like, compare it to, so I'll generally try to play it for about a week or so I get to know it. But I've liked this horn so much that I've hung on to it. And this is from our friends over at Lotus. And this is the classic model, which is sort of their take on an upgraded Bach 37. And while I had been a long-time Bach 37 player, like throughout college and kind of immediately after, it's been a long time since the 37's been my horn of choice. So when I heard this horn was coming out, like I wasn't necessarily super excited about it. I just thought like, okay, fine. And even when I got it, when I first saw it, I was like, I mean, it's just like, it looks cool because it's Lotus, but the bell doesn't have the two-tone bell. It's a one-piece bell instead of the two-piece bell. And I don't know, I just wasn't sure like if it would appeal to me. But then when I played it, I was just sort of immediately taken back by it. And as I've played it now over the last couple of months, I've been really, really impressed with how this horn plays. It's definitely one of my favorite all-time trumpets. It's the trumpet I'm currently playing predominantly. So essentially what we've got here is a one-piece yellow brass bell. And the opening of this, they've used a mandrel that's similar to the Bach 37. So you get that nice, like broad, but not too broad sound that still has that. This is like these are words that sort of go against each other, but that's what a 37 does. It's focused yet also kind of broad. So it's focused but not too focused. It's broad without being too broad. Does that make sense? No, of course not, but that's what it is. But then Lotus has also gone through, and they made a few adjustments to the taper to improve the sound quality and intonation and resonance of it. And I think that's why I've kind of come back to like love it again. The lead pipe is machined, so it's a machined bronze lead pipe. Got a little bit more copper content than just yellow brass. And the receiver is also machined. So this allows for superior, basically, mechanics. Everything is consistent all the way through because it's machined. And then like your accuracy and sound is improved and sounds richer, so on and so forth. So that's that. A couple things I also just dig about it. This one has the phosphor bronze slide, which I really like, and the phosphor bronze has higher copper content still and reduces those upper harmonics, so it kind of pulls those down and helps to keep the sound a little warmer and a little bit darker, which for me, I'm someone who tends to have a bright sound. I find that to be really helpful. So phosphor bronze, I've got my notes over here. Oh, and then the other cool thing that they do is their valve cap design. So they are doing the thing that has sort of become commonplace for a lot of horns today, where the third valve cap is a heavy valve cap. You can see that. But all the other caps are actually standard weight. Well, let me put it this way. They're slightly heavier than like a normal valve cap because they're actually hollow inside. I've got two cameras going on here, which is why I'm struggling now. So therefore they look all the same when they're on the horn, but only this one's actually the heavy one. Isn't that a cool design? A couple other things I like that they do is the two-tone valve baluster. So we've got bronze and nickel silver, which is nice. I love the contrast between the nickel silver and the bronze materials throughout the horn. The finger rings have all been, they're like thick without being overly thick, and then they've been rounded so that there's no sharp edges. So as you're putting your hand in and out of there, and as you're playing this horn all night long, it just feels comfortable in your hand, which is nice. I love the styling of how they've done like the cuts on the lead pipes like that. As you can see, it's kind of at an angle, and when it's closed all the way, like it just looks really nice the way that part's done. Little things like the pull knob on the second valve slide. Kind of got a little of this Art Deco design. Just a good looking setup here. So I'll play a little bit for you just so you can kind of hear what I'm talking about. Oh, and then I would be remiss if I didn't mention the abalone valve buttons. Just really pretty. This first mouthpiece I'll just play. This is the mouthpiece that I play in a variety of ensembles. I play in a British style brass band. Play in a couple of different like concert band, wind ensemble type groups, and I play in the Missouri Jazz Orchestra, which is basically a pro level big band. And then I also play in a group called 7D Funk, which is like a disco funk band. So this mouthpiece is a B cup mouthpiece, and this is what I use primarily for any of the wind ensemble playing. So for me, that gives me like the deepest, a very deep cup, and gives me like a warmer, richer sound. So that B cup, that around a high E, is about as high as I can play without the sound becoming too like sine wavy. So you hear with that F sharp, it starts to get like sine wavy. That's more the mouthpiece than anything else. So nice, warm, rich sound, but still has like some pretty overtones over the top, which are really nice. And then if I switch over to the commercial mouthpiece, the sound just like immediately like pops. So that just like cuts, but isn't like overly aggressive. It's not breaking up at all. Like it is holding that sound. It's very easy to play. As I play that top F, you can hear it like it just slots right in, and it's easy to play. And this is a shallow cut mouthpiece, but it's not like anything crazy shallow. You know, it's just a sort of a standard. It's not even as shallow as like an A cup, a Schilke A cup. It's not even quite that shallow. So a really full, rich sound, and just super easy to play, like I said. So that's the Lotus Classic, made from our friends over at Lotus. Definitely one of my favorite horns on the market today. It's the one that I haven't been able to give up yet. If this ever does get sold, it'll be sold as a demo model because I've played it a fair amount. But I think this one's going to be in my gig bag for quite some time. So available at Ernie Williamson Music. You can find us at erniewilliamson.com. And yeah, would highly encourage you to check out